John Barnes back at last and Dean Saunders scoring again. Liverpool are revitalised. Today they need to make ground on the top two at Boundary Park in Oldham. With another chapter in that epic saga, the race for the English Football League Championship. Our main game this week features a team whose place in the annals of football history is already secure and one who are fighting to preserve their present status. Oldham Athletics' first season in Division 1 for 68 years has proved to be every bit as difficult as they must have anticipated, and Liverpool provide the acid test of their first division calibre. The Reds have welcomed the return of the incomparable John Barnes to add momentum to a run that's seen them unbeaten in the league since early November. Last week they showed is commentator Martin Tyler.
Well, Graham Sharp certainly knows what it takes to perform against Liverpool. He faced them with a fair sprinkling of success some 30 times in Everton's colours before signing for Oldham last summer in a transfer deal worth £500,000. Indeed, this is something of a mini Merseyside derby with 5 former Everton players in Oldham's 13 today, including number 10 Mike Milligan, who returns after a 4-match absence with ankle trouble. The Everton connection also extends to the manager here, Joe Royle, who hasn't panicked after last Wednesday's FA Cup failure at 3rd Division Leyton Orient. Milligan for the long-serving Roger Palmer is the only change, though Andy Ritchie, who's done so much to help Oldham's recent rise to prominence, is now available again as a substitute after 3 goals for the reserve team on Monday. For Ronnie Rosenthal, a rare opportunity in Liverpool's starting lineup. The Israeli international is in today for Denmark's Jan Molby, who's injured. Rosenthal wears number 3, but will play as a striker. It's his first full game since damaging a shoulder in November. Graham Souness has had to shuffle his pack to fit the available players into the shape he wants. Steve McManaman moves from a forward role to the right of midfield. Ray Houghton switching into the centre in the absence of Molby. Ian Rush and Ronnie Whelan still sidelined. But John Barnes is in full working order again, and that means so much to Liverpool. It's only his 4th league game of the season. His only first division goal so far was the winner against Oldham at Anfield on the opening day in August. Ken Redfern, the referee, is a man of some affluence. He has his own jewellery business in the northeast of England. Well, Liverpool Football Club haven't played a league game here since the early 1920s. Such has been the gap in status between the two clubs. They arrive for this match with an 11-game unbeaten run in the first division, and they face an Oldham team needing to bounce back. Humiliated in the FA Cup on Wednesday when they lost 4-2 after extra time to Leyton Orient of Division 3. Rick Holden and Earl Barrett, who has played for England last year in the centre of defence, but used at the moment by Oldham as their left back, jumping now with Steve McManaman. Rob Jones with a very dangerous cross. Oh, and Saunders misconnected. The ball actually then came goalwards off Craig Fleming, but it was a chance for Saunders, supplied by a precise cross with some 45 seconds gone from Rob Jones, and Saunders missed out. Milligan nipping in front of Barnes. It's a northwest affair here, but it's got relevance at both ends of the table. Liverpool making a run, something on the blind side of the top 2, although they're being noticed now in 3rd place. And Oldham, for all the value they've given in attack, is needing to improve their results over the last section of the season to make sure they retain the status. It's taken such a long time for them to regain. They have a corner here. Rick Holden has gone across to take it. Ian Marshall, who knows a thing or two about scoring goals, he's got 9 already this season, is waiting by the near post. Sharp is there as well. It's awkward for Grobbelaar, was waiting right on the line. And Liverpool reflect on a disaster at their end. With less than 5 minutes played, Holden's corner totally took out the goalkeeper, and Adams flicked it in. Grobbelaar had a problem here with the presence of Earl Barrett, who jumped with him. Well, the team that can't stop scoring at home, in fact, you have to go back almost 2 years now to find a league game in which Oldham failed to score at Boundary Park. But Graham Souness absolutely devastated by the way that goal was conceded. An in-swinging corner. It should have been the goalkeeper's. It wasn't. Adams struck, and Liverpool are behind. Well, he's an excellent goalkeeper. He has his eccentric times. They've been well documented. And now Oldham have conceded a free kick. And if Bruce Grobbelaar is looking for some consolation at the moment, he might reflect that John Hallworth hasn't kept a clean sheet since August in the First Division, and only that one here against Chelsea all season. And John Barnes, of all opponents, has his eye on this free kick. He's capable of putting Liverpool level. Oh, and he very nearly did. McManaman's on the scene. It's set up for Thomas, and it flies behind for a corner. Well, Barnes has so many varieties in those situations. Hallworth, who could have expected it to go to his right, had to plunge to his left and did the job with the help of the defenders who covered the rebound, which went to McManaman. Corner to Liverpool. Barnes, then Barrett. Oh, and Barrett and Marshall left it to each other. And now Earl Barrett just prevents a corner. Well, if you've not seen Oldham before, you've had a thumbnail sketch of them in the 9 minutes or so of this match. They've scored, they do carry a threat in attack, but their defensive vulnerability has also been pretty apparent. Offside. Well, Barnes very nearly punished Oldham for conceding the free kick, and but for Hallworth's save with that left hand, he would have done. The international scene very much in focus, of course, at the moment, with the draw for the European Championship being made yesterday, involving England and Scotland. Grobbelaar very anxious to get the game underway quickly at the goal kick. Oh, Tanner! Confusion, very nearly catastrophe. And the goal down, there isn't much margin for further error for Liverpool. Tanner. Now Barnes. There still is a belief amongst Liverpool's opponents, who always admire the traditions of the club and the philosophy of the way the game should be played, but there is a feeling that Graham Souness's team can be attacked if you put in the required amount of effort. And Oldham are proving that with a positive approach here. They've forced errors, but you would still fancy Liverpool to score before the 90 minutes is up. Houghton, picked off by Henry. Here's Sharp, now Bernard. Adams. Faced by Nicol. Houghton trying to provide some cover as well. And Adams hoping to get a free kick. And he achieved his aim. Well, Oldham also have, with Richard Jobson coming forward, Rick Holden to veer the ball in towards goal to try and catch out and unsettle Bruce Grobbelaar. Right, able to deal with the danger this time. Thomas. Saunders, no offside. McManaman, Rosenthal's up with him. It's a clear chance for Liverpool. It's 1-1. Steve McManaman sprinted clear and scored with aplomb. Delight from those who've made the short journey from Merseyside, and confusion for Oldham at the back again. And the marking was nowhere to be seen. The finishing was fine and precise. They'd pushed players forward at the free kick at Oldham, and they hadn't been able to compensate for the counter-attack. And what a season it's been for Steve McManaman, his first as a regular at this level. Nicol preventing the throw. Barnes slipping. Fleming. Well, Craig Fleming is the only outfield player in this Oldham side who hasn't scored this season. That does show again their willingness to push forward from every angle. And he was trying to put the record straight in that respect. A salvo of shots from both sides, a goal apiece. And he couldn't ask for finer footballing fare than this. Barnes. Nicol pursuing Fleming. That's Liverpool's throw. Rosenthal. It's a case of shall we dance there with Fleming. Sharp. Again, focal point for Oldham as they try to get out of their own half. Barrett. Here's Jobson. Go forward is the message from the fans here. Barrett. Good pressing by McManaman. Here's Jones. McManaman having a good look to see where Barrett was. Houghton, and a foul by Barrett. Another mature moment from Steve McManaman to make life awkward for an international defender. Bernard got his head to the free kick. Adams beaten by the bounce. Saunders, Tanner, Saunders is onside. Rosenthal in the centre, Barnes is there as well. And McManaman, oh, and Rosenthal and McManaman, almost a problem of linguistics then. Nobody took charge when a far post header was there for either of them. The odds were really more on McManaman, who had a better side of the ball, but Rosenthal very anxious to impress today. Too anxious then. Nicol, not sure whether that was exactly what he had in mind. take an in-swinging corner to try and prey on any Liverpool nerves, given the way Oldham took the lead. It was flicked on well by Sharp. Henry, and this is the problem for Oldham. Liverpool sweeping forward, Saunders, Houghton. It's still Houghton. Can he see a route to goal himself? Barnes is on the scene, and a rescue to give huge relief to Joe Royle by Ian Marshall. Houghton always had his mind on shooting, and then Barnes tried to take over. It's a marvellous recovery by Marshall, in keeping with the mood of a memorable match. Barnes, Marshall again. Here's Nicol, and Houghton. Oh, well. The officials have a difficult job, but there was a suspicion, maybe more than that, that the linesman flagged a little prematurely then. It's when the ball was played rather than when it arrived, of course, with Steve Nicol. But he clearly felt he'd sprung the trap. And I would think Graham Souness might have been a similar mind. McManaman, again, neat work in a situation where there was very little room in which to manoeuvre. Houghton's pass. Barnes trying to forge a path through the middle behind Marshall, and that's unlucky for Oldham. How serious will it be? Houghton. And Ken Redfern pretty happy that that came to naught. It was a 12th man for Liverpool then in the shape of the referee. And the goal was on because of that. But Houghton put it wide. Bravely done by Nicol. And he might have made an opening for Liverpool here by ducking in. An opening for himself, perhaps. Certainly for Saunders! Oldham 1, Liverpool 2. Dean Saunders, 18 now for the season in all competitions. But Steve Nicol made it all possible for Liverpool because he got the ball in the first place. He was up in support, and Saunders, as the ball ran past Nicol, swept it in. And you do feel each time that Liverpool attack that a gap is going to open up. Adams. Now Bernard. Well, if you've never seen Oldham before, you've learnt a lot about them. The bad side, inability to keep opponents out. Dean Saunders, after Steve McManaman had equalised, the two goal scorers for Liverpool. Neil Adams had given Oldham a very bright start indeed, with a goal in the 5th minute. It's been really relentless attacking football, and I'm sure we've got 45 minutes more of the same to come. Oldham Athletic 1, Liverpool 2 at half-time at Boundary Park. Second half underway, Liverpool leading by 2-1, but mindful of the fact that they've won only twice in away matches this season in the First Division. A succession of draws, 7 of the last 8 in fact on their travels. And Holden fell belatedly, didn't even look at the referee to try and get a free kick. Very honest, toppled down by Rick Holden. Jobson. Bernard. Oldham at least had the encouragement of having ruffled the feathers of Bruce Grobbelaar on a number of occasions in the first half. But this porous defence could leak again. Milligan having a problem. Henry there, his friend and ally. Great jump by Holden. Bernard, who looks very composed, has been a real bonus for Joe Royle this season. He's only 19, Paul Bernard. Graham Souness has a need to look at Barnes. He's looking across at the bench and they're saying straight away to him to come off. Well, that's a terrible shock for Liverpool supporters. He was injured in the second game of the season against Manchester City, an Achilles problem. After that, a calf strain inhibited his comeback. Mike Marsh, one of a number of players who's had extra opportunity because of Liverpool's lengthy injury list. And Barnes' name is on that list again. Jones got plenty of distance, but it did go more into the centre of the field, his clearance, where Fleming was able to seize on possession. Holden. Barrett's been driving on down the left to try and give Liverpool a problem in that area, and they've conceded another corner. Sharp trying to get free again, and Nicol excellently away. Here's Adams, who's taken the corner. And they'll have another chance. Liverpool have pulled everyone back. Rosenthal guarding one of the posts. Oh, and Grobbelaar made contact. It fell, fortunately for him, to Marsh, but his pass was rather lax and the ball went astray, and Oldham press on again. Sharp, now Bernard. Oh, good play by Sharp, slipped McManaman. Saunders, Houghton. Liverpool passing it beautifully, and Rosenthal trying to run, but in that respect, Craig Fleming is very talented indeed. He roared back as Oldham needed him, just after Graham Sharp had put on a little display of skill of his own, right in front of our camera here, at the expense of Steve McManaman. See ya. McManaman, and Fleming rapidly recovering again. Here's Marsh. Saunders. Liverpool looking for a spot of insurance here. Another goal to deflate Oldham. They've got a corner. 20 minutes played in the second half. No alteration to the scoreline. Still Liverpool lead by 2-1. Thomas. Well, Michael Thomas a couple of years ago came here with Arsenal when Oldham were in the second division, and were lauding it on their synthetic surface. Arsenal went away beaten then. Thomas climbing well here. But it's the change to boost the attack. Andy Ritchie is back. He's 31 now. And his labours for Oldham in the second division have been immense. But he's missed out on the chance to capitalise in Division 1 because of his problems about staying fit. Holden, but Ritchie's right in there straight away. Holden again. Here's Milligan. Oh, and Adams was a little startled to find the ball coming to him. Responded by jabbing the header towards goal, but not wide enough of Grobbelaar. How? And still Oldham have the option of sending Marshall upfield, which I'm sure will happen if it stays at 2-1 to Liverpool in the closing stages. It could have been 2-2 here from Adams. Houghton. Well, it wasn't particularly orderly from Oldham at the back. Don't really expect that, but up front is a different matter. Ritchie for Adams. Henry is in the middle. Can he get it here? Cover in the shape of Tanner. The closest that Oldham have come, and Nicky Tanner, the Liverpudlian, in with a great chance of the equaliser against his boyhood favourites. But it was a wonderful Oldham attack. But just needed more force at the finish. But here come Liverpool. And Thomas! Michael Thomas is a scorer for Liverpool for the first time. And it came seconds, really, after they could have been level, and now they are 3-1 up. Thomas twisting and turning and finding the bottom corner with unerring accuracy. Playing a dangerous game. Here comes Nicol. McManaman to the left. Saunders through the centre. Nicol picks out Rosenthal. Saunders coming in. Oh, and Rosenthal has clipped it. I'm not sure that he was trying for goal. He believes it must be a corner. Maybe our angle here will be some evidence for him, but it's been given as a goal kick. Rosenthal claiming that the ball flew up off Earl Barrett. 4 up for Oldham. They'll scatter caution to the wind, whatever caution that they have. Great ball by Ritchie to Holden. Oh, and Bernard, agonisingly close, back from Adams. Marsh, and Oldham will feel that they haven't had much good fortune this afternoon. Andy Ritchie curved it over Rob Jones then to Rick Holden, and in fact it was Nicky Henry going in at the near post who got a header to it. Jobson and Thomas charging it down. Here's Marsh. Saunders with a free header. Good stop by John Hallworth when Dean Saunders was about to signal Liverpool's fall. Adams. Well, the amazing fact here is that we've only had 4 goals. We really could have had 14. And Dean Saunders, who came in unmarked, you could see where he wanted to place the header, but Hallworth also saw it as well. Right. Milligan. Well, some teams you would be sure would be beaten in this situation, but Oldham aren't one of them. They will carry on in their Corinthian style until the final whistle blows. They might concede another goal, but they'll certainly be looking to score again themselves. Sharp! Oh, Graham Sharp couldn't quite get the spring in the legs. And it does look increasingly as though Liverpool will do a league double over Oldham. Having won 2-1 at Anfield on the opening day of the season, the return fixture this afternoon, as it is throughout the Division 1 programme, and it's 3-1 here in Liverpool's favour. Thomas has got such strength. A free kick has been given to Oldham. Liverpool believed Thomas had been fouled, and certainly Thomas felt that was the case. Five minutes left. Oh, Nicol and Tanner. Oh, Tanner reacted as though Nicol called for the ball then, but if he had done, he wasn't prepared to deal with it when it came. Here's Barrett for Oldham. And again. Now Adams. It's always been an outlet for them on the right-hand side. And Grobbelaar hasn't got there. Bernard! 3-2. And another adventure goes wrong for Bruce Grobbelaar. Paul Bernard picked up the pieces here. After Grobbelaar fumbled, Bernard reacted very smartly with his back to goal and found the net with the goalkeeper completely stranded. And what a finish we're going to have now. It has been a splendid example of all that's good in the English First Division. And it's still just tilting Liverpool's way. Henry, back comes Saunders. Holden. Now Marshall. Ritchie. The build-up is patient. It needs to be more penetrating now, and Jobson almost caught out by Saunders. Here's Barrett. 30 seconds plus stoppage time. Oldham trying to rescue a point that looked way beyond them a few minutes ago. But this is Oldham. They're audacious, almost outrageous in their play. And they're such entertainers. Only Liverpool fans would perhaps begrudge them an equaliser here. Adams, Grobbelaar this time does catch it. 2 goals Liverpool have conceded, which will not have pleased the goalkeeper. And Graham Souness going through agonies inwardly. Ronnie Moran chattering away to nobody in particular. Barrett with a throw. Sharp. Right. And Liverpool have another major lift towards catching Leeds United and Manchester United if they can, and Michael Thomas with his first goal in Liverpool's colours, and it's turned out to be the significant one in, to use an old footballing cliche, a 5-goal thriller. Oldham played their part heroically. Paul Bernard made a match of it again in the closing stages after Oldham had trailed half-time, and that after scoring first through Neil Adams, Steve McManaman and Dean Saunders replying then for Liverpool. Marvellous entertainment. And Oldham, well, they were FA Cup flops at Leyton Orient on Wednesday. They've faltered in terms of the result at home in the First Division. But again, they've shown that they are one of the most stimulating sides to watch in the league. Oldham Athletic 2, Liverpool 3.
I'm calling it in the press a blindside run towards the top of the table, but I think everybody's got their eyes on you now, and you've gained another 2 points on the two above you this afternoon.
Well, we've said we just keep our head down and work hard, and we have yet to field what many people, maybe myself included, would be our strongest team, and we've got that to look forward to. If we can just keep on their heels, if we can close the gap, we'll have both Uniteds to play back at Anfield. There's a long, long way to go. We're now January, the middle of January, and really that January signifies it's a half-time in a season, and there's a lot of football to be played, a lot of football to be played.